Hey YouTube Void, what's going on? How was your week? Hi, my name is Rachel. I am an artist slash part-time reseller that makes part-time pay slash person who is obsessed with sustainability, saving things from the landfill. Climate change is real, and rolling all of that into one fun little video series that nobody's asked for and quite frankly nobody's watching, and sprinkling in a little bit of empathic capitalism. What is that, you may ask? Good question, because I made it up. It is an idea of incorporating capitalism with the need to give back to the community and to others, to not only make money, but to be a part of something greater than yourself and to help others thrive. Is it working? Is it a viable idea? No, not right now. It is not working because, as you see with my numbers, I make very little reselling.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I am very lucky that I do make money as an artist and that pays the majority of my bills. And this is kind of the extra, like, we'll just call it day job that artists need to have. I used to cater for production companies and wait tables and dog walk and Uber and Lyft and work at Starbucks. And then, the pandemic hit. Well, I was catering for a whole bunch of different production companies, and within like 2 weeks of the pandemic, I lost my job due to no fault of my own and realized that I did not want to be dependent on somebody else for my income, or my lack of income, because you can lose your job as an employee. People get laid off all the time. And so, because I've always been this like really hard worker, somebody who's always there on time, it's like the overachiever, like the people that drive you insane. Yeah, that's me. The one that goes over and above and you're like, you are so freaking annoying. Yeah, that's me.
My star student. You know, you called me that before, so I took the liberty of fashioning a star out of aluminum foil. Now, no pressure. You like my cookies? You give me the star. Wow, a star! I know you all hate me, and I'm sorry, but I don't care.
And it was my first time ever like being let go from a job, and it like wrecked me. So I was like, I want to be in control of my own fate. The trade-off with that, because there is a big trade-off besides health insurance, is that you have no idea how much money you're going to make per week. As an employee, you know how much you're getting per hour. You clock in, you clock out, you get your paycheck. Usually for me, it's been like bi-weekly. When you are self-employed, it is feast or famine, and it's very hard for me to like take time off ever, because I'm like, oh, I could be working, because I don't know what I will do now that will like pay off in the future. So it's been a huge adjustment. And so even though as an artist I am technically self-employed, it is reselling has been very different, similar and different. But I went to the YouTube for help, guidance, and I got a barrage of channels that are awesome and that people love, and that are with people that are killing it on this, in this medium. But I kept like disagreeing with a lot of the videos because I was like, this just doesn't seem like my experience, and it just seemed so easy. And what I've found out is that like there are a lot of details that go into something like any kind of business that you start, especially if you're selling something. And that kind of gets glossed over a lot of times. One of them being like, the difference between what your gross profit is and what your net profit is. Gross profit basically is the amount of money that the buyer's paying you. Like the net profit is like after everything is taken out. And that is, I mean, everything. And suddenly there are certain things that pop up. Oh, you have to pay for this. Oh, you have to pay for this. Shipping supplies? Yeah. Oh, you have to purchase, your cost of goods. Even like me going to the bins, which is where I get most of my stuff, you still have to pay by the pound. And, you're still paying for it. Taxes have to get taken out. Like, and that's a whole thing. I did my taxes last week. Man, oh man. So much fun. So much fun because technically I have 2 small businesses. And so I have to do separate taxes for each. And, I'm an artist. I can sing for you, but me learning how to itemize and deduct everything and to know, all these nuances within the tax codes, it's been fun.
Oh, it's funny because it's true.
But going back to the videos that I was watching, as amazing as those resellers are, that was not my experience. So I wanted to document my experience. Man, oh man, these last few months, it's been very humbling. I make my boyfriend watch every single video. Shout out to Kurt. He's amazing. But, it's embarrassing showing, like, he sees how much work I put into this. And, like, sometimes when there's, like, Thursday and Friday, I had 0 sales. And it can be, demoralizing is a good word. And I've seen it on my videos. I'm like, being sarcastic and, like, self-deprecating and just, like, everything sucks because right now the economy is crazy. Like, I thought the time during the pandemic was insane, but geez, it's just, there's so much stuff going on right now and costs have gone up. I went to the post office today and it's a small post office. And so I know most of the ladies, and I literally just walked up to get my packages scanned because I like a record of it. I don't know, because sometimes the post office doesn't scan stuff and then the buyer thinks you didn't ship it and then it's a whole thing. So that's me being like OCD. And I never have like an insane amount of stuff that I'm like shipping for the day that it's like not worth it to get it scanned or to self-scan it. But anyways, I digress. I walked up to the woman and I was just like, how are you today? And she was just like, man, oh man, costs. I can't take it anymore. And I was like, yeah. And the funny thing is that the post office is increasing their prices like literally next week by like 8%. But I think she said what we're all feeling. I feel it. Like having no sales for 2 days, I was stressing the F out. What? Things are just crazy right now. And hopefully something will change. But, the reality of the situation is dealing with an economy that is just insane right now and having to figure out how to keep going with what I've created and to increase my visibility, my profitability, and that's a tall order.
Delusional? Of course I'm delusional! Do you know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain, complain, complain? Jiminy mother loving toaster strudel!
It's annoying, right? Like, me getting on a soapbox and talking about the way the world should be, like, what does that do? Nothing. Me taking action is what's going to make change. And that's also why we're here on this video series, because it holds me accountable. Like last week I said I was going to bring cookies to the ladies at the post office because they're amazing. And obviously from our talk today, it looks like, they're stressed out, or at least one of them is stressed out. So I'm like, okay, but but I didn't have time to make cookies last week. So that's still on the thing. So hold me accountable, one person who watches this video. Make sure that I bring cookies to the ladies at the post office. I will be volunteering at a kind of like a soup kitchen thing next week. So that's awesome. Yeah, got to put my money where my mouth is and document it like you do. I think that's pretty much it for the week. On a personal note, I spent many, many years singing on the national tour of Sesame Street Live. I was like, among many things that I did, I also played like the human character that was like the friend to the Muppets. And somebody got a hold of our videos of the shows, like full videos, and has posted them on YouTube, which has been just incredible. I got to watch like a couple of my shows, which by the way will be my outro for a while. Like I'll be posting little clips from it because I'm super proud of it. It was funny to like see some of the comments and like, you know, somebody I just put a comment, you know, thanking them for posting the video, and they're like, "You're a legend." I was like, I got a YouTube channel, one with 19 subscribers and one with 2, and no traction at all. And I'm still like living in the world of that I used to be on Sesame Street. And, you know, I do work professionally, but it's not anywhere near where I ever thought I would be. So it was like really awesome to see those videos. And it did give me like a fire under my butt to be like, oh yeah, these videos are from quite a while ago. And it was like, that's when I was like bushy tailed and bright eyed and like thought the world was my oyster. And then, you know, I met casting directors and agents and coworkers and people and reviewers and people who just like hated me for whatever reason. You know, like either people will love you and they will hate you. And people either, you know, thought I was great or didn't. And I think I let that negativity and the no's and the comments that I would get about me not being attractive enough, about me not being thin enough, about my voice sounding like this. I think there was one director, I was at like a callback for a show, and he's like, I hate the timbre of your voice. And he's like, there is nothing that I can do about this. This is my voice. It's like when somebody's like, you're too short. And I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do. I mean, there's like a procedure where I maybe can grow an inch by them like breaking my legs. But like, I can't do anything about it. And I think I let that sit with me and not like, and dim my light a little bit. And yeah, so it was really great to watch those videos because I'm really proud of a lot of the work I did, especially with one of the shows called Everyone Makes Music, where I played a music teacher. And I was like, yeah, I sound great there. And I was like, you know what? It's time to just put yourself out there and just do you and be authentically you, because right now I think we've gotten into a culture of where we're like just cultivating what we think a brand. And I'm not a brand. Like I have tendencies, but I'm a human being. And as much as I like to talk about empathic capitalism, I can also be an asshole. Just ask my boyfriend. Like I can be paranoid sometimes. I can be I can lack patience. And so like in this culture now we're all online and it's all about filters and algorithms and AI, and we're like trying to cultivate this whole persona. Like I'm just ready to put it all out there. Like you want to see a really crappy week of sales? You know what? Hold on for another couple minutes because you'll see it. You know? And just be that girl that like on her, I was put in on Sesame Street, and I sang at the end of the show. The character Jenny like holds Big Bird's hand and sings the iconic "Sing a Song," and I cried. Like, I grew up loving Sesame Street, and it was such a dream of mine. And I was like, man, I'm the happiest person on the face of the planet. And somewhere along the way, I just lost that. So it's time to bring that back. So that was a lot of backstory for absolutely nobody that has nothing to do with reselling. But that's where we're at, because I want to bring that into my reselling as well.
Oh, great! There's nothing better than a neighborhood full of friends. Come on, friends, let's sing. Friends are the people in your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. In your neighborhood. Oh, friends are the people in your neighborhood. They're the people that you meet when you're walking down the street. They're the people that you meet each day.
So as I mentioned, this week was interesting. It was so weird. It was like the start of the week was good, and I was very hopeful. I think I mentioned that last week. And then, yeah, it just fell off a cliff. And it can be a million factors. It could be the economy. It could be the fact that I hadn't listed a lot of stuff the week before. It could be who's looking at my listings. It could be my prices. It could be what I'm selling. 50 million things. So yeah, there's a lot of like factors that I don't know right now. But what I can do as somebody who purchases on these platforms is tailor my listings to what I would want if I was purchasing. So making sure that I provide really good photos, providing measurements for clothing, providing or disclosing any flaws, not only in the photos, but also in the description. You know, giving them as much information so that they are able to make an informed decision. And that's what we'll do.
1 hour later.
But anyways, let's talk about Monday. Housekeeping, all the sales are on the day that I take them to the post office. So like Monday, the sales are generally from the weekend. Basically what I do this round is that I get to what I call a pre-net, which is I get the amount that the buyer paid, and I'm just taking out right now the platform fees, any shipping labels that I have to purchase, which is pretty much only through eBay, and then any commissions that I pay out because I do sell some things on consignment. Then at the first week after the end of the month, I then take out any other things that I have to take out to get to my net profit. Things like cost of goods, shipping supplies, subscriptions that I have to pay, all of that good stuff. And the amount that I need to at least withhold for taxes. And then we get to as close to as a net profit as my tiny brain can handle. On Monday, which was the best day and probably saved my butt, we had 6 sales, 4 on eBay, 2 on Poshmark. On eBay, we had this really cool vintage Nordstrom men's gold and blue silk tie. It sold for $10 with $5 shipping. eBay released $12.59. Then we sold this vintage custom bodybuilder shirt. It was like a novelty shirt that somebody had done for somebody's birthday. It sold for $17 with $6 shipping, and eBay released $19.46. Then we had this vintage 1961 Aladdin Industries Disney metal lunchbox, and that sold for $60 with $15 shipping, and eBay released $64.47. Then we sold this Madewell white eyelet ruffle top. It sold for $15 with $5 shipping, and eBay released $16.95. Then on Poshmark, we had this book titled I Can't Be Good All the Time, and it sold for $10, and Poshmark released $7.05. Then we had this vintage United Colors of Benetton patchwork kid jean jacket, and that sold for $15, and Poshmark released $12 to me. All the money for Monday that was released to me from the platforms was $132.52. But we need to first take out the eBay shipping labels that I had to purchase, which were $5, $6.43, $13.30, and $6.60. The Disney lunchbox was sold for a friend, so I had to give them $25.58 in commission. So after all of that was taken out from $132.52, we have a grand pre-net total for Monday of $75.61. Also taking the amount, like this is after the platform fees was like $132.52, and then just with taking out the shipping labels and like the commission, it took it all the way down to $75.61. So, and we haven't even taken out everything. And that is the purpose of why I'm doing this, because like really having that idea of how much I'm taking away when all is said and done has been very beneficial to me, to like for my business, for me making decisions. On Tuesday, there were 2 sales, both of them on eBay. We had a vintage green patterned silk wrap dress from Banana Republic. It sold for $20 with $7 shipping, and eBay released $22.92. Then we had 2 vintage Madame Alexander Little Women dolls. They were in pieces. These were actually mine. They ended up in storage and all of the rubber bands disintegrated. So I'm glad they're going to somebody who can hopefully repair them. But they sold for $36.50 with $10 shipping, and eBay released $39.79. So the amount that was released to me from eBay was $62.71. Then we had 2 shipping labels, which were $7.22 and $6.34. So my pre-net for that day was $49.15. Then on Wednesday, we had another 2 sales, both on eBay. I don't know what's going on with Mercari. Mercari has, here's where conspiracy theories come in, right? The last thing that I had on Mercari was a return, which was my first return ever in the history of my time on Mercari. And since then, I've had 0 sales. It's easy to be like, hey, because of the return, like, I'm not getting sales anymore because they don't like me and they're not putting my listings out there. And you know what? Nothing is ever like 100%. Like, it's possible. But the truth of the situation is probably just like, Mercari, I generally have the least amount of sales. So having a stretch of like no Mercari sales is not unusual for me. So, but that's how conspiracy theories happen, right? On eBay, I had a pair of Isabel maternity black shorts. They sold for $10 with $5 shipping. eBay released $12.62. And then I have this Fila, is that how you pronounce it? Fila? I don't know. Disney Hercules Hades. It was a crop shirt. It sold for $16 with $5.50 shipping, and eBay released $18.19. So the amount released to me was $30.81, but we have the shipping labels, which were $5.77 and $5.27. So my grand pre-net, my very minuscule pre-net that is very sad was $19.77. On Thursday and Friday, we had 0 sales, which is, I guess, good and bad. Like, good for the environment because I didn't have to drive to the post office. Bad for my anxiety because there are things I would like to pay for. And you know what? It's hard to pay for things when you don't have money. So, anyhow, for the week, my pre-net was $144.53. Which I mentioned I thought was going to be so much less. So let's take a second to be grateful, that the beginning of the week was decent. Sometimes I'm like, why am I torturing myself by doing this video? Like, nobody's watching. But like I said, it's very helpful for me. And, maybe somebody will come across it who is also struggling and just see that, they're not the only one. Or maybe one of the highfalutin resellers that make $1 million is going to watch this and be like, you're a complete idiot. And to both I say, fair. I'm in my montage stage of life for reselling, at least. And so we're just doing the work. And on that note, I think I can do a little bit more work. With me, listing is sometimes like hard. It's like I always have something on and sometimes I'll get distracted. So I can be a little bit more diligent about my listings and about like really trying to get like, I don't know, I try to get like 30 to 40 listings a week, which doesn't always happen, but let's at least try for 30. And I'll report back to at least one person. That's it for this week. Sunday's my birthday. I actually am singing for 2 different services, so I will be busy, which is good. Making money is good. Got to pay for all the stuff that I need to pay for. And I will be another year older. Yeah. Like I said, I've just got this fire under my butt right now, and let's just ride it. And it sounds bad, I think. But it's time to like put my money where my mouth is, you know, and just go out there and be me, whether people like it or not. I've mentioned this before, but since nobody's watching these videos, this will be the first time you're hearing it. But when I was doing Sesame Street was when Ticketmaster first started like asking people for reviews for the show that they were watching. And, you know, we played arenas. So, I mean, I must have performed for like thousands of people. And so people started writing reviews, and some of them were very lovely, and some of them were so mean. Like, so mean. Especially to me. Like, you know, there was, I will always remember somebody said I was screeching. And you know what? I've had like insane amount of positive critiques and reviews and like people who tell me that I have a wonderful voice. But it's always that one review from some random person in some place that I don't even remember that was like, she was screechy, that I always go back to. And you know what? It's time to take that voice and tell them to shove it. Because not everybody's going to like you. I'm not always going to do the right thing. I will do my best. But it's time to just be freaking me, which is weird and wearing Darth Vader tops. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. No need to do anything. I feel like in this culture that we're in, everybody's asking you for something, whether it's money, time, attention, smashing a like button. You work hard, you do you. Just watching even a second of this means a lot to me. Have a wonderful week. Hopefully things get better, but if they don't, I'll be here to like talk about it and figure out a strategy, right? We will make this happen. Empathic capitalism is going to happen. I am going to will it into existence because I'm so tired of everything just feeling selfish, including with myself. Like, it's time for us to remember that we're all a part of something greater than ourselves and to be a part of a community and to be kind to each other. So that's what we're going to do by reselling, which sounds so sane. Anyways, Carpe Diem. Have a great day and week, and I will catch you on the flip side. Take care. Bye.
1, 3, 5.
Yeah!